This is like the improvised rocket they try to fire on us.
What about the ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel?
They don't really work. They don't pay taxes. They don't go on to the army service. They don't really do anything but just take more and more money, and have extremely great political influence for some weird reason I can't understand. And
So tell us about the election.
Oh, what can I tell you about the elections? Everybody thinks that Bibi Netanyahu is going to win again, because nobody else seems to be able to lead the country right now. House prices is one of the big issues in Jerusalem today. All young people, when they get married, want to buy a house. And the house prices have risen so much in the last very few years that nobody can afford to buy one anymore. It's one of the main issues, is the fact that the middle classes have so little buying power anymore. And it's one of the big issues in the election now. But house prices and the price of other things too. Generally speaking, every Israeli supports the building of the wall because it protects them and it makes them feel safer from terrorist attacks. On the other hand, all the Arabs are against the wall because it excludes them and it stops them from coming into Israel legally or illegally to work, which is very important to them because there are very, very few jobs available in their local areas.
This is being broadcasted in the Shuk Machane Yehuda in Jerusalem, Israel.
Only Bibi. Because I love Bibi. Bibi is good from Israel. Every Europe, it's down from the money. Bibi, it's up. In Israel, everything good. Look and span, look and grace, look and everyone. It's not good, but in Israel, it's very good. Look, everyone tell you.
Even America knows we want Bibi.
אין כמו ביבי.
אין כמו ביבי.
אין כמו ביבי.
תגיד להם, אין כמו ביבי.
He tells the truth.
כן, most of the time. Especially to Obama. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
שלום, שבת שלום לירושלים.
You want to know about the elections? So I'm also confused because I'm 50 years old, but I'm confused. But I know who I'm going to vote for. I'm religious, and I'm going to vote for the Jewish House, הבית היהודי, of נפתלי בנט, מפלגה, איך אומרים? And we want more Jewish and more tradition to be in Israel, that it will not be forgotten.
Like what? Give me examples.
All the Jewish tradition that goes with us 2,000 years, all the things we have, and we have a very Jewish, a very rich culture, Jewish culture, And I think the education of the religious people is something very, it's high moral, and not to be like all the world, to be unique.
I'm a Palestinian.
And you consider yourself Palestinian?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Israeli election?
We don't care about it at all, actually.
Is there a reason for that?
Of course, there's a lot of reasons. First of all, we are live under occupation. About the governments, they are our enemies. They never treat us as it should be, even at least through the useless nation rules. I mean, United Nations, I call it useless nation. You see, actually, no justice.
Do you believe that the Palestinians should have their own state?
Look, to have the state, we have we have long way, actually. First of all, we don't have the basic to create state. Already somebody think we have a state. Okay, they mention it in United Nations. Palestinian state, where is it? Nothing. What we have, everything controlled by the occupied people. We live under occupation. In Ramallah or Nablus, West Bank, Gaza Strip, everywhere. We are surrounded completely. It's a huge ghetto. The history repeated itself. What the Nazis did against the Jews, as here the Israeli government, they did it against the Palestinians.
At the moment, are there any parties which tell the truth?
Politician?
No.
This is a new word, let's call it politician, but the original name, it's bullshit. They are liars. They say law. Which law? Law, it means law. It's mean law. They are liars. Show me any president or any responsible person who get enter the elections and he make his promises, not just here in the country, in all over the world. And one of them, he kept 10% of his promises. No one. They run after their interest and then they tell you, sorry dear, go fuck yourself. I reached the point. And he is ready to draw on you the first one.
I think that Israel right now is pretty much in the same place that the government of Iran and the people of Iran, meaning that there is very, very far bridge. There is not even bridge. There's a huge gap between the government and the people themselves.
What is more important, security or the economy?
I don't think it should be two different questions. I think that if you make a maintainable peace process and peace treaty with Palestinians through negotiation, of course, not unilateral action, then you get strong economy, because you can open up markets to Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, and people there want to buy Israeli product just like we wanna consume their products. I think there is a strong possibility for a new economy in the Middle East based on mutual respect. Because if you sign a good treaty, and I mean good, I say that the Palestinians can live with, you also signed the Arab Initiative with 22 other nations. Even Syria is signed on that. that if you sign a peace treaty with the Palestinians, Israel can keep the Golan Heights. And you have 28 million people more on your border that you can barter with, you can trade with, you can do business with. You can buy oil. We pay 4 times the amount for oil than our border, than our next door neighbor, Jordan, for the same amount of oil. Why do we do that? Why not just buy oil from Saudi Arabia? We're that close. Why should we get our oil from America or from Finland? Heaven knows why.
The salaries are not high enough in order to even cater for your basic needs, basic livelihoods. Hardly covers the bills and the rent, and the bills keep getting higher and higher. No one actually even bothers about the question of who will be a good prime minister. All we're thinking about is who do we want to go into the parliament, and who would be good to be in a coalition, what parties. But to think of ahead, I'm really not sure that we have a good, not really amongst the candidates we have now.
Tell us about the story when you lived in Jerusalem. You were working with Palestinians. Have you ever worked with them?
About 10 years ago, I was living in Jerusalem, working in restaurants, and I met and worked a lot with Palestinians. It always struck me as amazing how much different their lives were from mine. And we used to share our food and laugh and were, what to do with your colleagues, and then I'd hear about how it took them 4 or 5 hours to get into Jerusalem from Ramallah because of checkpoints, and they and what really stuck in my mind is how whenever we started to talk about politics or their lives or the situation between Israelis and Palestinians, they would say, oh, don't worry, there will be another war and we'll kill you all, it's going to be blood up to here. And they were serious when they said it, and one of them was very religious as well. And right after that, we'd sit down and have lunch together that they made, and we'd still be friends, but there was all this unbridgeable abyss between us, and that really illustrated to me the complexity of the conflict. Actually, the other cook used to be a journalist, and they told me about all their family members who were injured or died. It was the days of the Second Intifada, and so yeah, this is very sad.
Do you think the rich should be taxed more?
The rich will be taxed more. First of all, the rich, it is not logic. I mean, it is a kind of populism. There are not so many rich people here, and if people that have fortune, the fortune will be taxed, the fortune will leave the country. And if what Shelley Yachimovich says also in a populistic way, that she will tax the companies. That is completely idiot, because the companies, the money did not go to the owners of the company. If the money remains in the company, that is very good, because the company has to invest the money in the creation of workplaces. So she will take this money to the government. And then she will give it back to the companies in order to create work. That's stupid. In a religious street, very religious street, women are not wearing trousers, pants, and cars are not driving Saturday. So if they take over here this area, my wife will not be able to dress the way she dresses, and I will not be able to go to orienteering, to my orienteering sport the way I did this morning by car. That is a certain danger to our way of life, and I'm in a way afraid and worried that maybe within 40 years or 50 years my grandchildren will live in a different country. The struggle is about ideas, about ideologies.
Are you going to be voting in this election?
No,
Yes. Why not?
because I don't like politics. That's it.
Do you want to see Israel improve its relations with Arab countries?
No, I don't believe.
Why?
Because this is a big lie, okay? Like, after all these years and its history about the wars between Palestine and Israel, suddenly everything's gonna be fine and peace, and look, they divided. There are two different countries now. For me, when we were occupied, for example, when we used to live in Ramallah or something in the West Bank, everything was fine. There were no walls, nothing. Dividing two countries, it's making the situation even more difficult. So I don't believe it's a dream. I don't believe there's something called peace between both countries. It's a truth for me, and it's a long history story. So. Mm-hmm.
Do you think Israel should improve its relations with other Arab countries, such as Syria, Jordan, and even Saudi Arabia?
I don't think that there are that this is gonna happen, because Israel is dreaming of being, the strongest country in the Middle East or something, if not the whole world, okay? And شو مصالح يعني؟ إلهم مصالح معينة. They don't do anything. They don't plan for anything except for their own benefit. That's it. They don't even dream of peace because they're peaceful, okay? Because they have certain benefits.
Do you think there can be peace with the Israelis?
No, I don't believe.
Hold the vote. Like Obama says, vote. Don't hate, just vote.
voting?
I'm not going to tell you who I'll vote for, but I'm going to be voting, and I suggest every Israeli votes.
Do you think Israeli Arabs should go to the army?
I think they should do service to help their people. I think they should do things that would be constructive. I don't think we should give them guns. That would be a very dangerous thing to do. Why? What do you mean why? These people threaten to kill us. You want to see some videos on it? Okay, they raise their children saying that they should go and children should sacrifice their life to kill a Jew. Every day we learn these things. Every day we see these things. And you want to give them a gun? No, not in my life.
Is that Arab Israelis in Israel?
What? Sure.
Arabs
What?
Arabs who are Israeli citizens?
Also, sure. Of course it is. Go look into the ones that have been locked up for terrorism. They brag about murdering Jews.
Do you think Shelley can be a good prime minister? She's a Labour, left-wing, centralist.
No, of course not. They think that you can give land for peace. I think we should give peace for peace.
I read, and someone told me that if you give each household $500,000, it may be possible, but the problem is many Arabs may not want to, or Palestinians may not accept it.
So first take the ones that will go, and then we'll deal with the other ones. But when they see that the other ones are having a good life somewhere else, they'll want to go too. They want a good life is what they want.
How do you feel about an Arab moving and living next door?
I lived next door to Arabs for 26 years. Next to the wall, the other side they live. These particular Arabs are very nice people. But on my street, I'm very leery about who I bump into. When I walked home 2 nights ago, an Arab young man grabbed my beard in the market. Now that's not a friendly, nice thing to do, is it? I don't know who the boy was.
Now, what happens if you report that to the police? I mean, they go to
Yeah, then what happens? They'll say, don't go there anymore.
But you live there.
That's right.
But are the neighborhoods segregated?
What? No, segregated. They live wherever they want. I bought a home from a Jewish person. We bought it from a Jewish person.
Which parties tell the truth and why?
Which parties? Politicians are not known for telling the truth, no matter what party they're in.
And which party lie the most?
Which party what?
Which parties lie the most, in your opinion?
I've never counted all the lies. Politicians don't tell the truth. Everybody knows that.
Can you tell us, do you think the rich should be taxed more?
I think that the tax system should be fair. I don't believe in raising more taxes for wealthy people. I think constructive, productive work should be provided. And for instance, here in Yerushalayim in Israel, if they would make more land available for more Jewish housing, that would lower the price of the houses, and that would stir up a lot of commercial business in the building trade and people buying homes.
How do you think this can be done?
What's the problem? The government just has to say, okay, you can build it. The land's here.
Yeah, but there are obviously big issues with the land.
We had the Jewish land. God gave it to us.
And what do you say, actually, when you go abroad and people ever question your beliefs in terms of the land belonging to the Jews?
Of course they do. Well, wherever you go, people, it depends on where you go. It depends on where you go and who the people are. Most of the world likes to buy Arab propaganda.
Oh, do you think there should be non-religious civil marriage in Israel?
For the non-Jewish people, definitely.
And for Jewish people?
Jewish people should get married in a kosher, holy way. I don't believe in legislating religion. That's my own belief. Now, most of the religious people say they should do that. I think it's my job to bring them in and show them how this is a better way to do things. Better for them, better for their children and their families.
Some people want separation between religion and state.
Most countries in the world, other than Arab countries, Now let's say you went over to Saudi Arabia, huh? And you asked that question. They'd pull out a knife. What are you trying to do? There's no freedom in any Arab country where the Arabs are in charge. Not on any matters. The women are not even allowed to drive a car. But this doesn't bother you for some reason. But if we say that you have to get married, Jews have to marry Jews in a kosher way, for some reason you feel that limits people's freedom.
So are you saying it's similar to some elements in Arab society?
What?
Are you similar in some Arab?
No, not similar at all. We're not killing people. We're not cutting off people's heads. Are you reading the newspapers? Okay.
So in short, you do believe that there should be a kind of religion should have an influence over the state?
I think that it's up to the religious people to influence the non-religious people in a loving, intelligent way. As I said, I don't believe in legislating religion. So I grew up in America where there's a separation to some degree between religion and state.
Should be changed.
Well, you asked me if it's the best form of government?
I mean, election.
This is the only free country in the Middle East, and people are peacefully voting in governments. All the other countries are coming with wars, and you're asking us if we should change. I think you should ask them if they should change. If they want to change the government, how do they do it? They start a war. If we want to change the government, we vote for somebody else. Right? Is that true?
Some Israeli Arabs say that they feel that they don't have full equality here in Israeli society.
That's what they feel because they want to teach you that. However, if they were in any other Arab country, they'd have less. They'd have shorter lifespans. Go look it up. I'm not making these things up. They have a lower standard of living. Look up the facts because you're just buying what somebody else has told you. They can vote if they want, but they don't want to vote, so they're not voting. They have people in the Knesset. There are Arabs in the government. There are Arab policemen. There are Bedouin soldiers. If they want, they can contribute. They can cooperate.
Complaint from a Palestinian who said that he thinks that he's being discriminated against because it costs him 5 times as much to pay for 100 square meters in the city than if it were sold to Jewish people instead. He thinks that the garbage is not being collected properly. There should be garbage places for it.
And you believe him, right? You think he's telling you the truth. Now, the taxes on my apartment are almost twice the taxes of the apartment next door because they're Arabs and we're Jews. So this is called the Jewish home or the Jewish quarter. And right the next house over, that's called the Arab quarter, and the taxes are much, much, much lower. Now, is that fair? I pay $100 a month, $125 a month, and all I get from the city are lights at night and take out the garbage. That's a lot of money.
Are you saying that your Arab neighbors pay more?
I'm paying much more than they are. Of course, it's a known thing. They pay lower. It's called Arnona, the tax.
Where is this? Is this on the website?
Go to Arnona and see what the different rates are in the old city. And you'll see that the Jewish quarter is about twice as high as the other quarters.
So you're telling me that many of the what Arabs and Palestinians say are blatant lies?
Oh, of course, it's a known thing. Are you that naive? Well, I think if you would check and do some research, especially before your interview, half the interview you would not have had to ask.
Especially the secular Jews say that the religious are trying to dictate many things to the country.
And so the non-religious trying to dictate many things to the country. That's not new. They want their program put in effect, and you shouldn't want their program put in effect.
Well, there's a very... Do you think the negative press about Israel is from anti-Semitism?
Of course it is. But you know what? God sends it to us. Because when people hate us, we get stronger. We come together. And when people are nice to us, We intermarry and disappear. So God sends us these people to hate us. That's a known thing. Goes all the way back to the history in Egypt 4,000, 3,000 years ago. The more they hit us, the more we multiply.
I mean, some people might see that as being racist, accusing Muslims.
Have you ever been to an Islamic country? Huh? Okay, if you go to an Islamic country, you're not allowed any other belief. You're not allowed to. They're coming to England now. Did you see the video now in England where they have Muslim patrols walking down the street telling Muslims not to drink alcohol and making them put their drinks down? These are on YouTube videos now. When they come to your neighborhood, you let me know about it, okay? Okay, have a good life. About 15 years ago, maybe it was 20, a Swedish newspaper interviewed me. For half an hour, we walked all through the old city, and I answered all their questions. Then he asked me, well, what should we do about the Arabs? I said, well, they should live in peace. He said, what if they don't want to live in peace? What if they want war? I said, then we should be very tough with these Arabs. He took the 30-minute interview, and all he showed was me saying, we have to be tough with these Arabs. I have it on film in my house if you want to see it. Please don't do that to these.
Yes, of course.
Do you want to sit there?
My daughter. She's my
I'm his
daughter.
Can I ask you the questions too? Maybe you go and sit there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm freelance.
I've been at the House of Lords, the House of Commons in time of Tony Blair. I met with the Lord when they shoot the first bullet into Iraq.
Okay.
And I talked to them. I've been in America 26 times, and I've been in 44 states in America.
Okay.
No passport.
So,
without any passport?
Israeli documentary.
Let's go on to different themes. What do you people think of Netanyahu? Is he going to solve the Palestinian and Israeli conflict?
No one will solve the problem here. All of
No
them are
one.
same.
Yes.
All of them are same. The only one solve the problem, God, or United States of America. Only that's it. But as long as the Capitol Hill in the United States under the occupation from the Jewish lobby, you don't disrupt anything.
Obama has no interest in solving
No, Obama Bush. You know who's the best thing?
One God very clear that the Israelis failed, the Arabs failed, the Christians failed to up themselves from such conflict. We keep forgetting that we are human beings and not this or that.
Yes, my name is Colombo. I believe in Lotto, not in the election. Just Lotto in my life.